Hi viewers, today we are going to see about structure of C program. So in this session we are going to see about what is structure of a C and what are the rules to write a C program, and then with example program we are going to see in this session. What is structure of a C? C is a structure oriented programming language. So here in C language we are going to see about what is the structure to write a C program, because here a C program is purely based on structure. So here in C program is divided into 6 sections. The 6 sections are very important. These are the structure of a C. So first section, documentation section, second preprocessor, third definition, fourth global variable, fifth main function, and then last user defined function. So these are the sections of a C program. So if you want to write any C program, we have to follow these structure. So these are the 6 sections. First documentation section, second preprocessor section, third definition section, fourth global variable declaration section, fifth main function, and then sixth subprogram, that is user defined programs. First we are going to see about documentation section. Documentation section is nothing about, it is consist of set of command lines. In this section it will indicate the information, additional information about the program. So it is nothing about, it is the command lines. Here we can use documentation section to specify the name of the program or other related informations about the program. So here we can use two kind of documentation section. The first one is single line commands, second multi-line commands. So these two are the we can use in documentation section. So here these two will indicate command lines. So nothing about, if you want to write any information about the program, we can use these single line commands or multi-line commands. So the compiler will ignore these lines because these lines are commands lines, so it will not be executed. This is nothing about information about the program only. So if you want to write any information related to that program, like a name of the program or any other informations, we can use this documentation section. This documentation section will be ignored by the compiler. Next we are going to see about preprocessor section. Preprocessor section is nothing about, it is used to link the system library files with the program, because the system library files should contain all the informations about the program. How should we get the input, how we can display the output, like that all the information will be stored in this header files only. These library files are nothing about header files. We need to include header files with the C program, then only we can compile and execute our C programs. For an example, has include stdio.h is nothing about, it's a standard io.h, standard input output dot header file. So like that, console input output dot header file. These are the system library files which is used to make operations in the program. This section provides instruction to the compiler to link the header files or functions from the system library. Next, definition section. It is nothing about, it is used to link system library with the files like a preprocessor statement, but here we are using definition section for declaring the constant values. Here define A10, A containing value of 10, and then define area. We can define the functions also. We can define constant values. We can define messages also. So here if I am printing message, the welcome to C programming tutorials message will be displayed using the message variable. Here the definition section, it defines all the symbolic constants such by using define directive. Next we are going to see about global variable declaration. Global variable declaration is nothing about, there are some of variables or there we used in more than one function. Such variables we can call as a global variables. The global variables are declared outside of main function or before the main function. If we declared any variable before main function, we can use those variable in the entire C program. These kind of variables we can call as a global variable. The global variables are, we can use more than one function in the same program. This is called global variable. The scope and visibility of the global variable is always high. Next we are going to see about main function. This main function is nothing about every C program should contain at least one main function. The main function which specifies this is the starting of the C program. So it contains two parts. One is declaration part, another one is execution part. First, local. Inside that main function we can have local variables. This local variable is nothing about that are declared inside a main function or any other function. Those variable we can call as a local variable. We can use these local variable inside any function or main function. We can use within that only. We cannot use beyond the any function. We can use those variable inside a particular function only, so that the scope and visibility is within that function only. So this is called local variables. And then execution part. It's nothing about it contain at least one valid C statement. The execution begins with the opening brace and ends with the closing brace. So all the statements in the program ends with a semicolon, that is called termination symbol, which is used to define a programming statements. Here the programming statements is nothing about, it is programming lines. Each lines we can call as a statements. This termination symbol, the semicolon, we will use all the programming lines except conditional and control statements. Next we are going to see about subprogram. It's nothing about user defined program. User defined section is nothing about, if the program is a multi-function program, then the subprogram section contain all the user defined functions that are called by the main function. If we want to declare any function rather than the main function means, we can call as a subprogram. So here the subprogram functions we can call using the main functions. Now we are going to see about example for the structure of C. Here the structure of C is nothing about, here the first line is, it is documentation section. It contains name of the program. So here I have given C program for add two numbers, and then has include, this is the preprocessor statement which contain the library files. This library file which tell the compiler how to compile and execute this C program. And then I have declared one variable. The variable name is called A. This is called global variable. I have declared before main function. If I declared any variable outside of main function or before main function, this variable we can call as a global variable. And then main function. The main function containing the data type is called void. In this main function we are going to do add two numbers. I have declared two more variables. Those variables I have declared inside a main function, that is called B and sum. These variable we can call as a local variable. And then I am getting the input from the user, so that I have used output function is called printf. Inside the printf I have given enter two integers. So this will be displayed to the user. The user will enter some inputs. We are going to get using scanf. Scanf which is used to get the input from the user through keyboards. So here I am going to get two integer values. That's why I have declared two format operator of integer. So I have given %d and then %d is %d is the format operator for each variable for the A and then B. Here I have given ampersand A ampersand B, which indicate address of A and then address of B. And then I am going to do execution part, sum equal to A plus B. Here the A and B value will be added and then stored in sum. And then we are going to print the sum value using again printf function, that is called output function. So I am going to print the value of sum. So I have given sum equal to and then format operator. In this format operator place I am going to display the value of sum, and then get ch. I am going to close this. main function. So this is the thing. Here I have given with the first line is nothing about, this is the information about the program, that is documentation section, and then preprocessor statements, and then these preprocessor statements are system files which used to execute our C program. And then I have declared a global variable, and then main function, local variable, execution part. So these things are we can call as a structure of a C program. This is the output for that program. I have given 10 and 20, the output will be 30. And then what are the rules to write a C program? Here every C program should contain at least one main function, not more than one main function. C program execution always start from main function. The execution of a C program begins at the opening brace of a main function and ends with the closing brace of a main function. Generally, all the statements in C we can written in lowercase. Uppercase letters are used for symbolic names and the output string and messages. For that purpose only we will use uppercases. Every C statement must ends with a semicolon, that is called termination symbol. All the variables must be declared with respective data types before using. C is free form of language, so comments can be inserted at anywhere in a C program, but nested comments are not supported by C. These comments which is used to understand any program using those comments lines. The comments lines which give the information about the program, but those lines will be ignored by compiler. Braces are generally used for grouping of statements. Here I have explained about how to print the hello world. So here I have given the first line is nothing about, it is the documentation section, and the next line this is preprocessor statement, and then main function. I am going to display the hello world. So the printf is nothing about, it is output function which is used to display the information or messages to the user. I have given hello world within the double quotes. It will display as it is to the user. And then I am going to return 0, and then I am going to close the program. So this is a very simple program to execute hello world with the basic structure of a C program. So here the structure of a C program is a very important, because of the C programming language is based on structure oriented programming language. Here every program will execute based on the structure only. Thank you for watching our videos.